What's going on? This is Frank from Silence Equals Death. You are watching CMS TV.
It's Stone Axe right here on the Classic Metal Show with Ain't Gonna Miss It. That one going up by request to T Cuz Bra. Kind of a Black Crows vibe there a little bit. Striper in there with Lost for J-Rad. Kiss with All Night for NF 18275. Dio from the Last in Line release with Breathless for the Hardy Boy. Bad Company in there with Good Lovin' Gone Bad for my nephew James, and Montrose in there with Space Station number 5 for Motor Chad 19.
That was a good block.
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting block, kind of old school.
Sure.
Old school stuff. So
I like it.
You guys do a good job doing that, and I do a good job grouping it together.
Yes, you do. Because believe me, if it was me doing it, it would be played right in order.
Yeah. So I try to do something to make it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Well, we're into the home stretch of the show. How's your back doing, by the way? Are you making it okay?
I'm all right. My back's good tonight, but tonight my neck's acting like a shit. But whatever. I'll be fine.
And I take it your equipment is not fucking up tonight?
No, everything's now you jinxed it, you son of a bitch. It'll probably all start fucking up.
Well, we're into the last segment, so if it fucks up, it fucks up.
If it fucks up, goodbye.
Right. Right. All right. I got a couple of music-related stories, and I have some other just silly shit.
Okay.
To take us out of the show, unless you had something you wanted.
I have one thing that I really want to get to.
Why don't you get to that right now, and then I'll finish out with the shit that I got, because it's non-consequential. It's
okay.
Stuff.
Yeah, I've got one that I can't believe that the media didn't touch, so we're going to touch it. Before I get to that, though, I just got to show you this. Remember when we were talking, this was 2 months ago or whatever, and the fans were telling me that I should try Ozempic and get thin with Ozempic and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Remember that conversation?
Yes.
Here's the reason I'll never do that. I'd rather be fat. Have you seen this before and after of Kelly fucking Osbourne?
Yeah, well, of course. I've seen a lot of bad things about this Ozempic, because is that really her?
That's her.
Is that really her? That isn't an enhanced photo at all?
No, because I've seen bunches of these.
So her legs are literally that?
Yes.
Holy shit.
She could literally fit inside the other one.
Yeah, she looks like what was her name? Something Cooney. Yeah, she was like a anorexic chick.
Yeah, I don't remember her name, but I know who you're talking about.
Her
she
last
looks
name
terrible.
Her last name was Cooney. See if you could find anything on her, like on YouTube or something. It was something Cooney. Anorexia. I know that's her last name, though.
Cooney.
It's
Eugenia
like
Cooney? Oh.
That's it.
Ooh, yeah, she does look that way. Holy
smokes. Holy shit. That isn't some enhanced photo to make her look like she's
again, I don't know that to be true or not, but I've seen bunches of that similar photos from that same.
And that Slipknot guy wants to marry her, huh?
Well, not no more. He broke up.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
so
they broke up.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
So he proposed to her in front of dying Ozzy, and now he broke up with her?
Or she broke up with him. I think she might have broke up with him, but.
All right. Yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
She's about the same skinny.
She's probably looking for some Ozempic. She probably thinks she's fat. Look at the extra skin. That shit must weigh an extra 2 pounds. Got to cut that off. My God, that is horrid. When they get like that, aren't you just like, go ahead and just die?
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, it's not going to get better.
No, of course not.
She's always going to be fucked up, and eventually she's going to die from malnutrition.
Well, I mean, is she still alive? This chick?
I don't even know. I don't even know. Let's see. Let me look on here.
Because
yeah, she's still alive.
Because I've known of her for at least 15 years.
She is 31 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, yikes. Yeah, that's not attractive.
Well, you compare her anorexia Holocaust body to Kelly Osbourne, and they're about the same.
They really are. Wow. You know what doesn't help Kelly either? That she was a fat chick.
Yeah.
That really makes it worse.
Yeah, well, where did all the skin like on her fat legs and stuff go? Where did
Maybe
that
she
go?
was young enough that it snapped back?
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe certainly the Osbournes have enough money and certainly aren't afraid of a little plastic surgery to remove something.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's horrendous. I hope she eats a sandwich here sometime. Jesus Christ.
Yikes.
That is brutal. But that's not the story I wanted. I just wanted to show you.
Yeah,
real quick.
I get you.
This is I think is a big story, and no one's covering it, and I don't know why. You mentioned at the top of the show about Metal Church and Armored Saint.
Yes.
Being out there on tour and whatnot.
Right.
Well, out of the blue this week, you remember a couple weeks ago, we were playing some clips from Mark Lopes.
Yes.
Talking about that he wasn't even given respect with the...
Yeah, he wasn't given proper, what do you want to call...
Notice or whatever. Notice of firing
that,
or whatever.
That he was no longer in Metal Church.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, needless to say, in the last probably 6 weeks, so both Mark was promoting a song and then Kurt was promoting this album. So a lot of interviews, a lot of news out there about Metal Church, right? Then all of a sudden I see this long rant on Facebook and I copied it, and I don't know if it got taken down or not, but I saved it because I wanted to be sure I had it. And it's from a guy that does not usually do this kind of shit. It's Stet Howland.
Yeah, I know Stet.
Yeah, I do too.
On a personal level.
Me too.
I've hung out with Stet on probably half a dozen occasions.
Yeah. The thing about Stet, he's not really this kind of guy to go public.
Not really.
I mean, I'm not saying that he wouldn't, because obviously he did here. But he went very, very public and very, very scorched earth on Kurt Vanderhoof, as well as Joe O'Brien from Rat Pack Records.
Okay.
I mean, he really smashed them. Look at this. It's two parts. 2 long parts like this, no less. I'll read some of this and stop along the way, and you tell me what you think. You know, I try to stay positive on here, but some shit is just so wrong that it needs to be addressed. Now, that alone tells you what's getting ready to hit is not going to be pretty.
Right.
Today marks yet another year that the person that runs Metal Church Facebook, website, and record label failed to acknowledge one of the highest charting records of the band's 40-year career, Congregation of Annihilation. This person's ongoing childish, vindictive, and unprofessional behavior can be quickly verified by scrolling the Metal Church Facebook site. Not a peep about anything regarding Steve Unger, Mark Lopes, or myself for the last 2 years. Not a mention of any album or any of our birthdays since we got home from Australia and started asking questions. Questions like, where the hell is our money? Upon calling out the label, the silent treatment began. He immediately used his position to dish out sour grapes. He even presented Kurt and Rick with a homemade gold record award, all to try to get under our skin. We were more embarrassed for them than anything else. You can't make this shit up.
All right. Well, who is this person?
Joe O'Brien.
He runs the Facebook page?
He runs Rat Pack.
Okay.
And I'm under the assumption, so I could be wrong, but I'm under the assumption that he or his label runs the Metal Church Facebook page.
Okay. And they've sold 500,000 copies?
No. He's saying that this is the most successful chart position for a Metal Church record, Congregation of Annihilation.
Really?
Well, that's probably true. Metal Church was never a charting band.
Yeah, I know.
And if they sold 1,000 copies, they'd be in the top 20.
All right. The chart position.
Well, again, that's what he said. He didn't say the most sales. He said to acknowledge one of the highest charting records of the band's 40-year career.
What? And again, I'm not picking on Stet here. I'm just asking the question because maybe you know better than I do. Mm-hmm. What qualifies as a chart position these days?
Here's an even better question. Who the fuck has mentioned Billboard in the last 20 years? At what point, I mean, somewhere, at least in the last 10 or 15, we stopped talking about the Billboard 200.
Because
the hot, what was that other, the active rock, hot chart or something, or with a bullet chart or something?
Yeah.
Remember that, whatever that was? I forget. There was a couple of charts.
Yeah, because one was like a college thing. One was like something that was charting quickly in a week. One was,
And you had different ones. You had
the most ads.
Yeah, remember? You had Billboard, and you had the CM. What was it? The Monday Morning Quarterback one,
CMJ,
and CMJ.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was several reporting things. Now I'm with you. My first thought when I saw that was, whoop-de-fucking-do, you sold 2,000 records. I don't give a shit if that puts you on some list. You sold 2,000 records. That's what local bands sell. It's what they used to sell. I don't know what they sell now, but probably nothing. Who knows?
I mean, who sells physical product these days?
But back in the day, a local band would sell 1,500, 2,000 copies.
But I'm talking about stats.
Yeah, today? Yeah, I don't know.
What charts? I mean,
I think there's some math for streams or something too. That X number, like 10 streams equals one sale or something. I don't know the math, but there is something to that where they do some sort of magic math to make it sound better than it is.
I just call it hocus pocus.
Well, it is. I mean, it's all nonsense, How can 1,000 streams equal one sale? It doesn't. Because unless you bought the physical product, you still don't have skin in the game for it. You only just listen to it because it's free. And you'll listen to it till the next thing comes out, which is what everybody does, which is why nobody remembers any of these records. There's no charting. Stop with the charts. I'm with you on that part, Stet. But at the same time, he's not wrong. He's not wrong in being annoyed that they will acknowledge. This is going to sound super callous. I don't care. I'm in that mood tonight. They will acknowledge every fucking important date of Mike Howe and not acknowledge that he killed himself. They will say, today's the day that we unfortunately remember the passing of Mike Howe.
Right, of course.
They won't talk about the fact that he took a fucking handful of pills and killed himself or did whatever he did.
No, he hung himself.
Or hung himself, whatever it was. Whatever it was, that gets dusted over. These guys were all in this band. And, I mean, is it really that much to say, hey, happy birthday, Mark Lopes. Hopefully you're doing well. Or you don't even have to say, hopefully you're doing well. Happy birthday to our former singer, Mark Lopes, or Ronnie Monroe, or Steve Unger, or whoever. He's not wrong on that. All right, let's read more here. This person worked all of the band's problems. These actions unraveled the last actual Metal Church band. It's now a project.
See, I agree with that. I made that comment myself.
Mm-hmm. I agree too. He is also the one who runs Kurt's life and now Metal Church's career. God bless him, totally unprofessional and with no noticeable business sense, yet so very entertaining and amusing to me. Ha ha ha. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. Here we go. All said, my time in Metal Church was musically very rewarding. And right up until the very end, the brotherhood we shared was unbeatable. We had great chemistry on stage, and we never had even one fight off stage. We always got along swimmingly. The only time there was ever any grumbling was when we would discuss the record label. That was our only gray area ever. I could smell a rat from the very beginning. My instincts never fail me. Not to mention the many warnings from other scorned artists. So he's just unloading all the dirt now.
Yeah. But Metal Church has been represented by Rat Pack for
a long time.
Right, 20 years at least.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, they left, what were they on, Steam Hammer or whatever for Weight of the World?
Yeah, and that was back in the 90s.
Yeah. And I think Steam Hammer might have put out Light in the Dark. But after that, then it's been all Rat Pack since then. I mean, yeah, they've been with Joe for a long time. I wisely dismissed this label almost from inception. Get to the next thing here. As, you know, is this the same one? Yeah, That's the same one. That's the same one. Here it is. The many warnings from other scorned artists. I wisely dismissed this label almost from inception, as the money these days is in the live shows. And given touring is my area of expertise, I simply grinded to get the best gigs while always trying to keep the label out of it. Today we celebrate the release of Metal Church album Congregation of Annihilation that came out 3 years ago. This album was top 20 in 6 countries, including the USA. Again, going back to our original point. So what? What does that mean? Did anybody celebrate that other than the 4 guys in the band at that time? Anybody? Do you remember, Neely, when it came out? Did you immediately go to Billboard to see where it charted?
No. I to be honest with you, I wasn't a fan of the record. I just didn't dig Mark's delivery.
Well, let's go to one you dig. You dig the new one, right?
Yeah, I like.
Did you look to see where it charted?
I have not.
Of course not, because no one cares. That is such a 1985 thought.
I know.
Let's go where it charted. Next thing you're going to say is that they didn't promote your midnight sale at the record store. I mean, come on, we're not doing that anymore. All that shit is done. Let's see. We worked very hard on its success, yet the label wouldn't even fund one video. Regardless, we rocked the world, and I was honored to bring my longtime friend Mark Lopes into the fold. He did an amazing job and is one of the best, most sturdy bandmates I've ever shared the stage with. At that time, the 5 of us were as close as brothers could be. It makes me sad the way things are now. Mike Howe would be absolutely disgusted if he were here to witness this. The band's honor died with him, unfortunately. Damn.
All right.
Damn. At the end of the day, I feel like we were all lucky to still be here, especially me. And it's not like we killed each other's families or something. Our band broke up. Boo-hoo. And although that unfortunately took its toll on my family life, greatly contributing to my divorce is unfortunately as common as bands breaking up. The strong live through it and thrive after. I wish most of those involved the best and hope they have the strength to move forward. Life's too short. My bro Gary Hoey has been so incredibly influential in keeping me positive. I'm steadily trying to gravitate away from the negative. Thank you, bro. Sorry I had to vent today, but this was something that I felt needed addressing. I let it slide for 2 years already. I tried my best to stick to the facts and limit name calling. Thank you to all for the ongoing love and support. Big love to you all. Thank you for your ongoing love and support. From Stet.
So he's blaming his divorce on the breakup of Metal Church?
That's what it sounds like. Like maybe he wasn't making enough money, which I can't fathom that, because isn't his, and I could be wrong on this. Again, I'm throwing a lot of bullshit up against the wall, but things I think I know, he's like a real estate guy.
Again, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's a real estate guy. Like he flips houses or something. So I can't imagine that he was out of money. And I can't imagine that Metal Church was making any kind of money that people would divorce over.
Yeah, I get, I'm sure that Stet was a paid player. I mean, when they played, I'm sure he made maybe $300 a night.
Yeah. I can't imagine that the Metal Church money was like, if you're not making that money, I'm throwing you to the woods. You're out of here. I cannot believe that there was that kind of coin coming in.
Yeah, how many gigs a year did Metal Church play? What, 35 to 50?
No. The only thing I could think of, and I'm equating this to my own divorce, maybe when he was going through like the bad period right before the breakup, he was also home and he wanted to get away and he couldn't because Metal Church wasn't doing anything. So he sat home and fought with his wife, or his ex-wife now. It's the only thing I could think of. I don't know how that could be. Other than that, I mean, was his wife involved in the band somehow?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
So if Metal Church played 50 shows in a year,
yeah,
and he made $300 a night, that's $15,000.
Yeah, as I say, that's not much.
That ain't a whole lot. I make that in like 2 weeks.
That's enough to fucking buy one shitty house in a bad neighborhood to flip. That's it.
All right. Well, everybody has their grievances, but shit happens.
Shit does it. I'm just surprised that no media picked up on this.
Well,
Stet's a fairly well-known guy.
Yeah, I mean, he had a long tenure in Wasp, and then obviously he, assumed the drummer role in Metal Church, and he, had some physical issues that almost killed him.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
again, Stet, very nice guy. Every time I see him, he always recognizes me. He says hello, comes over, chit chat for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But Metal Church is Kurt Vanderhoof.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. It's no different than these guys like Dave Mustaine or a Blackie Lawless or a Don Dokken or a Jeff Tate.
Yeah. And he worked with Blackie, so he should know.
They're the head of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
It's how it goes. Yeah. It's their project. I agree. It's their thing.
Yeah. I'm just like, this is a bit harsh to be throwing out there just random like that.
Yeah, well, whatever. But I saw the protectiveness of his good friend Mark Lopes. Mm-hmm. He's the one who quote unquote brought him into the band, and he did a great job, and he's my bro, and blah blah blah, and it's I'm just defending my friend.
Yeah, well,
it's kind of how I read that.
Well, and there's probably some truth. I mean, there's obviously friendship issues.
Yes, of course.
That are at play in this thing as well. But yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is it's very surprising from that guy to be on social media throwing hand grenades like that. I won't say bombs. These weren't quite bombs. Now, if he would have called Joe O'Brien out by name, now that's a bomb.
When I look at this current thing with Metal Church, and I said this from the beginning, especially when they added Dave Ellefson to the lineup, this is less of a band and more of a project. Mm-hmm. And he nailed it, because I see it the same way.
Right.
Because this doesn't look like these are cohesive brothers. These are name guys being in a band together. under the metal church banner.
Right.
And that's how I look at it. It doesn't mean I don't like the record any less, but it doesn't seem as if it's a lasting thing.
No. What's always weird to me from all these kind of things is the same guys play with the same types. Stet played with Blackie. Now he played with Kurt. Same type. Guy that's the soul guy. Ellefson played with Mustaine. Now plays with Vanderhoof. Same thing. You know, they gravitate. It's almost like the guy that marries the girl that's just like their mom. You know what I mean? The chicks they're attracted to are just like their mom.
Yeah.
Because it's familiar and it's comfortable. And it's just strange that guys that are notorious for not having loyalty to their bandmates, the bandmates seem to bounce from that guy to this guy to that guy. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, but these guys, these journeyman musician, I'm a musician for hire.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens. They get into these projects and they get into these bands, and I'm a guy for hire.
Yeah, but then they all bitch when they get thrown out. They forget that they were a guy for hire. That's always the bad part of it, is then they get let go, and then it's like, well, why did I get fired? What did I do wrong?
It's like, I thought I found a home.
Yeah, you didn't. You were a hired gun in the band. That's it. That's what you were. No, I'm with you, though. I saw this thing out there, and I was like, man. And again, it's from knowing Stet a little bit. He's just not that guy.
Right.
He is not the guy to be throwing bombs that could potentially cost him gigs.
Yeah, and what I noticed, he didn't say anything bad about Kurt personally.
Mm-mm.
He just more or less went after Rat Pack
and Joe O'Brien.
Yeah, and defending
Lopes.
Lopes.
Mm-hmm.
But
no, you're right.
He didn't seem to come off with a grievance like he was treated personally bad. It's just like, well, I think Lopes got a bad deal, man.
Well, I think he did say that he didn't like the fact that they got home and didn't hear nothing. And I agree with all those guys. If that is indeed the case, that Vanderhoof didn't call them up and say, I'm done, or you're fired, or the band's over, or anything like that, that's weak. That's weak sauce. I mean, even if he calls them and says, look, I'm done with the band, and then he decided he wanted to come back.
I'm done with this lineup.
But even if he did say, I'm trying to go the other way, like the furthest on purpose. If he said the band was over, and then he changed his mind 5 years later and repackaged it with new guys, I still think that's better if he would have told these original guys first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or not original guys, but the last album band.
Yeah.
If he would have, if Vanderhoof comes off the way the story goes, I think, is Vanderhoof's back was hurt, came off the road.
That was what was put out there, that Vanderhoof was having physical issues.
Right.
So he had to put Metal Church on hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
But then he was doing that side project.
That other band that had videos and everything else.
Yeah.
But I still think if he would have called those guys and said, look, my back's too fucked up, I can't do this anymore, I'm retiring Metal Church. Thank you for your contributions. Have a nice day. Have a nice life. And then he comes back 3-4 years later and his back is better, but he doesn't feel like that lineup was what he wants to do. I still think it's more okay than where he's never contacted him, even to this day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But again, who knows who is advising Kurt on this?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
To say, you know what, it's just better that you let this thing die down. We'll reform with this
new guys.
This, what do you want to call it? I don't want to call it a super group, but
it is
no names, and we'll relaunch Metal Church and get people's interest in guys who have thrash metal, hard rock, roots to be a part of this thing, and hopefully it'll gain some interest that we've got a David Ellefson playing with you.
Yeah. Well, and the thing that doesn't track with Stet or it's interesting. I've interviewed all three of those guys, or I've interviewed that whole lineup since the breakup of Congregation. I interviewed Unger for his, I forget what that band is called, but this was recently, like 3 months ago or something. It was in the winter. I interviewed him, Unger, and I interviewed Lopes recently, and I interviewed Vanderhoof recently, and I interviewed Stet, I don't know, a year ago or so for some project that he was, for that NYC band that he's doing with Mark Bolan.
Right.
So I've literally interviewed all these guys since. The one place that it doesn't track with what the former lineup of Metal Church is saying is that for Vanderhoof to come back and do this with the lineup that he has, it is more costly for him to do it. He's not going to get David Ellefson at the same rate that he was getting Steve Unger. He's not going to get Ken Mary at the same rate as Stet Howland. He's just not going to do it. It's just not going to play that way. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think this is a Rat Pack call, to be honest with you.
Could be.
Because Rat Pack is like, well, we're willing to take on the risk for reward if we bring in these name brand guys,
right,
to be part of Metal Church. So that's just kind of how I see it. It's just like, I think Rat Pack is taking on the risk of paying these guys to be a part of this thing. But again, I don't look at this as a band.
Sure.
These are just name brand guys doing Metal Church type music.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, me and Ellefson get along great, and we're friendly and all, but I'm being honest when I say I don't see him as thinking this is a band.
I don't think that either.
He does a lot of bands.
Yeah, and I know Ken a little bit because I knew him from Jack Russell's Great White.
Yeah, from Great White. Sure.
I hung out with him on numerous occasions because they often played with Akin.
Yeah.
So I would see him plenty and just chat up with him. And he's a session guy. He's a guy who plays with whoever hires him.
Mm-hmm. But he's not going to be out there playing for $300 a night.
Yeah.
No way. He's got to make more than that. He's one of the more accomplished guys. Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is a little crazy, but interesting to say the least. So,
well, again, I look at this as Rat Pack. Again, I don't know anything about Rat Pack aside from them distributing various records and so forth. But whoever's running the helm and controlling some money, they decided that perhaps it might be worth the investment to have these guys tour around as Metal Church.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know Joe real well either. I'm sure you remember me and Joe had a little falling out there for a minute with KXM. Remember that?
Right. Oh yeah.
They were not happy with me about KXM at all, but we worked through it, had a couple of conversations and worked it out. So maybe that's all Stet needs to do too, is call Joe and say, hey, let's fucking solve this shit. Because and again, I'm not trying to defend Rat Pack or Joe or anything, but I will say, and obviously it's a very different thing from Radio Dick saying bad things about his Priority record versus band guy that was on the payroll bad-mouthing the company. I get that it's different, but I do know that it was as simple as a couple of communications back and forth with Joe, and we were fine to move on.
Sure.
The KXM bullshit was left behind. And I never talked about KXM again. See, there's why I never talked about KXM on the show for albums 2 and 3. I made a little agreement that I would just leave it alone.
Right.
It just wasn't my thing. So anyway, that's the end of my bullshit. You can have the ship from here.